When you receive a parcel at your doorstep, you are not just receiving a product. You are receiving the result of trucks, ships, warehouses, scanners, packaging systems, delivery routes, software, workers, and sometimes even robots. To you, it is just a box. But behind that box, there is a powerful system that has been evolving for more than a century. That system is called modern logistics. Most people think logistics simply means delivery. But logistics is much bigger than that. Logistics is the planning, movement, storage, and control of goods from one place to another. It answers simple but important questions. Where is the product? Where does it need to go? How should it get there? How much will it cost? How fast can it arrive? And how do we make sure it reaches safely? In the past, moving goods was slow, expensive, and difficult. Before modern transport, goods were moved by animals, carts, small boats, and human labor. A product could take weeks or months to travel from one region to another. Roads were poor, storage was limited, weather could destroy goods, theft and damage were common, and there was no real-time tracking. So logistics was not just about movement, it was about survival. If food did not arrive on time, cities suffered. If weapons did not reach soldiers, armies lost wars. If raw materials did not reach workshops, production stopped. That is why logistics became important, long before it became a business subject. Armies understood logistics first. A strong army was not only the one with brave soldiers. A strong army was the one that could move food, weapons, horses, medicine, tents, and supplies at the right time. Many wars were not lost because soldiers could not fight. They were lost because supply lines failed. This is where the logic of modern logistics started becoming clear. Movement matters. Timing matters, storage matters, coordination matters. Then came the Industrial Revolution. Factories started producing goods at a much larger scale. But mass production created a new problem. If factories could produce thousands of items, how would those items reach customers? And how would raw materials reach factories every day? This is where railways, steamships, and better roads changed everything. Railways allowed heavy goods like coal, iron, cotton, grain, and machinery to move quickly across land. Steamships allowed goods to cross oceans faster and more reliably. Warehouses became more organized because businesses needed places to store raw materials and finished goods. Now, logistics was no longer just about carrying goods. It became about planning large flows of goods across regions and countries. Then came trucks. Trucks changed logistics because they made movement more flexible. A train could only go where the railway line existed. A ship could only go between ports. But trucks could reach factories, shops, warehouses, cities, towns, and homes. They created door-to-door movement. This was a major shift. Businesses could now move goods directly from a factory to a store, from a warehouse to a supermarket, from a supplier to a restaurant, from a distribution center to a customer. Trucks made logistics faster, more flexible, and more connected to daily life. But one of the biggest revolutions in modern logistics came from a simple metal box, the shipping container. Before containers, loading goods onto ships was slow and messy. Products came in sacks, barrels, wooden crates, and different types of packages. Workers had to load and unload everything manually. It took time, it cost money, goods were often damaged or stolen. Then standardized containers changed the game. Now goods could be packed once and moved by ship, train, or truck without being opened again and again. This made global trade faster, cheaper, safer, and easier to manage. A container could leave a factory in Asia, travel by truck to a port, move by ship across the ocean, shift to a train or truck, and finally reach a warehouse in another country, all without unpacking the goods in between. This is one of the main reasons why global trade became so powerful. Without containers, modern global supply chains would be much slower and more expensive. Then warehouses also evolved. In the past, warehouses were mainly storage buildings. Goods were kept there until someone needed them. But modern warehouses are very different. Today, warehouses are active logistics centers. They receive products, they scan products, they sort products, they store products in specific locations, they pick items for orders, they pack them, they prepare them for delivery, and they update inventory systems in real time. A modern warehouse is not just a place where products sleep. It is a place where products move, get organized, and prepare for the next step. This became even more important with the rise of supermarkets, global retail, and e-commerce. Then came barcodes, scanners, GPS, warehouse management systems, and tracking software. Before these tools, businesses often did not know exactly where their goods were. Now companies could track products from warehouse shelves to delivery vans. They could see what was in stock. They could know what was moving fast. They could identify delays. They could reduce mistakes. Technology turned logistics from a manual activity into a data-driven system. Then e-commerce changed logistics again. Before e-commerce, most logistics focused on moving products in bulk. Factories sent goods to warehouses. Warehouses sent goods to stores. Customers came to stores and bought products. But e-commerce changed the direction. Now customers order directly from websites and apps. That means companies must deliver individual orders to individual homes. One person orders shoes, another orders a phone case, another orders groceries, another orders medicine, another orders a book, and all of these small orders need to be picked, packed, tracked, and delivered quickly. This created the modern last mile delivery challenge. The last mile means the final journey from a warehouse, store, or delivery center to the customer's door. And this is often the most expensive and difficult part of logistics, because delivering one large shipment to one store is easier, but delivering thousands of small parcels to thousands of different homes is much harder. This is why companies like Amazon, DHL, FedEx, UPS, and major supermarkets invest so heavily in logistics technology. They are not just selling products. They are competing on speed, reliability, convenience, and delivery experience. Today, logistics is becoming even more advanced. Warehouses use robots. Delivery systems use route optimization. Companies use artificial intelligence to predict demand. GPS tracks vehicles in real time. Sensors monitor temperature for food and medicine. Software decides which warehouse should ship which order. And some companies are testing drones, autonomous vehicles, and fully automated fulfillment centers. So modern logistics evolved through several major stages. First, humans used animals, carts, and basic trade routes. Then railways and steamships created large-scale movement. Then trucks created flexible door-to-door delivery. Then shipping containers made global trade faster and cheaper. Then warehouses became active fulfillment centers. Then barcodes, GPS, and software made logistics digital. And finally, e-commerce turned logistics into a customer-facing experience. Now, the real battle is not only who has the best product, it is also who can move that product faster, cheaper, safer, and more reliably. Because in today's world, delivery is not a small detail. Delivery is part of the product experience. If the product is good but arrives late, the customer is disappointed. If the price is good but the delivery is unreliable, the customer may not order again. If the website is beautiful but the logistics system is weak, the business will struggle. That is why modern logistics is one of the most important systems behind global business. It connects factories to warehouses, warehouses to stores, stores to customers, countries to countries, and businesses to the daily lives of people. So the simplest way to understand modern logistics is this. It is the system that moves the modern world. And now that you understand how modern logistics evolved through containers, trucks, warehouses, and e-commerce, the next important question is, what will supply chains look like in the future? How will artificial intelligence, automation, climate pressure, and global risks change the way products move around the world? This is the Learning Studio, where we explain business, technology, science, and the systems that quietly shape the world.